Welcome to the podcast, folks. Today we're diving deep into how Indonesia is leveraging its green sukuk to fuel sustainable infrastructure. It's like really innovative.
I'm excited about this. So these green sukuk, they're not actually bonds, right? They're more like certificates, giving ownership rights rather than debt.
Exactly. It's like the difference between buying a house outright versus taking out a loan. Sukuk represent asset ownership, which makes them very attractive for ESG and Sharia-compliant investors.
Yeah,
They've issued around $9.6 billion between 2018 and 2023.
that's a hefty sum, especially when you think about it. And I understand there's both global and domestic issuance involved.
Right, they've issued about $6 billion in dollar-denominated global sukuk and another $3.6 billion in rupiah-denominated ones for domestic use. It's impressive how the Indonesian government is tapping into these capital markets for sustainable projects.
So then, the goal behind these instruments is to fund green projects. But I keep hearing that these funds are going into clean energy projects, like say wind or solar. Is that the case here?
Interesting point. So, one common misconception is exactly that. Although a 2023 World Bank report noted that almost 98% of green issuances globally seemed earmarked for the energy sector, in Indonesia's case, the actual allocations have been rather different.
Right. Okay. So if it's not primarily clean energy, what exactly are these sukuk funding?
Well, it's fascinating. The funds are overwhelmingly being used for water management projects. Think irrigation, flood control, water supply, and treatment systems, and even railway infrastructure. Essentially, the Ministry of Public Works has received about 98% of the proceeds.
Whoa. So it's more about essential infrastructure that supports sustainability rather than, say, solar panels?
Exactly. It's a broader interpretation of sustainability. It's like, if you compare it to clean energy, water and infrastructure projects are equally crucial for long-term ecological health and resilient development.
Yeah, I see that. Interesting, but don't you think there's a bit of a misalignment between perceptions in the media and what's being reported by, say, the Ministry of Finance?
Absolutely. And that's an important critique. While the prospectuses might suggest a focus on renewable energy, the actual allocations, per Ministry of Finance reports, reveal that investments are channeled into non-energy projects. It's like the promise of clean energy gets us excited, but then the funds flow elsewhere.
So, in your opinion, this kind of discrepancy might actually affect investor perceptions?
Exactly. It could lead to some misinterpretations. Investors expecting a wind or solar extravaganza might feel misled if they're not getting the clean energy exposure they anticipated. However, we also have to appreciate that water management and transport infrastructure are vital for sustainable development.
Yes. It sounds like Indonesia is using these sukuk not just as a tool to raise funds, but as a way to deepen their capital markets and innovate in financial instruments.
Precisely. Their approach showcases market sophistication and encourages a diversified view on sustainability. Instead of a one-size-fits-all clean energy approach, it's like tailoring their investments to meet pressing local needs, which includes enhancing water infrastructure and transport.
Now, here's where I get a bit curious. Do you think this model can be replicated in, say, other emerging markets?
It's a compelling question. Certainly, other emerging markets can learn from Indonesia's playbook. Utilizing green sukuk shows a creative fusion of Islamic finance and environmental goals. It's like, it's a win-win, stimulating the economy while addressing sustainability and infrastructure gaps.
Yeah, but is there any risk that this misalignment between perceived and actual green projects could become a problem for future green finance credibility?
Absolutely, and that's a valid challenge. If investors begin to feel that the label green is too loosely applied, if the funds aren't really driving the renewable energy transition, as many expect, then it might hamper confidence. But on the flip side, the fact that the government is transparent about allocations to, say, water management, helps reinforce that sustainability has many dimensions.
True. So, although there might be some criticism, it's also a sign that the market is maturing and tackling infrastructure issues head on.
Precisely. It's like using an architect's blueprint for both building bridges and laying down the foundations for clean energy. Just, the focus in Indonesia's case is on water systems and transportation. They're ensuring that core services are maintained, which is essential for any nation's long-term development.
Right. I really love that analogy. And it reminds me of how sometimes our preconceived notions about what is green need to evolve.
Exactly. It's a paradigm shift. The concept of green finance isn't just about solar panels or wind farms. It's about all components of sustainable living. Infrastructure like flood control systems can be just as critical in preventing disasters and
Yeah.
promoting resilience.
Another twist I noticed in the report was the emphasis on Indonesia's ability to use these instruments for both domestic and international markets. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, the dual issuance model, dollar denominated for global investors and rupiah denominated for domestic ones, shows that Indonesia is bridging local needs with global capital. It's like, they're speaking two financial languages at once, catering to diverse investor bases.
Mm-hmm. That's such a savvy move. It's a clear indicator that their capital markets are deepening and becoming more robust.
Exactly. This is a testament to the maturing financial ecosystem. The attractive features of Sukuk and the ability to align with Sharia principles boost investor confidence, especially in regions where traditional bonds might not hit the mark.
Yeah, I get that. And it's not just about raising funds. It's also an instrument for policy and infrastructure development.
Absolutely. With 98% of the proceeds channeled to the Ministry of Public Works, you see a targeted policy response to pressing infrastructure needs. It's like, smart allocation of capital that underpins a nation's economic resilience despite a potential misalignment in perceived
Right.
green projects.
Now, I have a small critique. Isn't there a risk that by not clearly defining green as exclusively renewable energy investments, the term might lose some of its allure or clarity?
That's a fair point. There's definitely a need for clarity in what qualifies as green. However, if we take a broader view, sustainability encompasses not just energy, but also water, transportation, and more. So while there might be short-term confusion, it could, in the long run, push us to rethink our definitions of green finance.
Mm-hmm. It's like a challenge to the status quo, right? Instead of everyone rushing to solar projects, there's an encouragement to invest in the critical infrastructure that supports society's foundation.
Perfectly put. And honestly, that kind of challenge can lead to more resilient and adaptable financial strategies. It's like the difference between just painting a garden green versus actually planting trees that provide long-lasting shade.
Right, exactly. I also find it fascinating how this innovation in finance mirrors Indonesia's broader policy agenda, where they're balancing economic needs with sustainability.
Absolutely, it's a holistic view. They're not just chasing trends, they're addressing infrastructure gaps with a sustainable twist. This deepening of capital markets is a strong sign of economic maturity.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So overall, while there are challenges in perception, the use of green sukuk in Indonesia appears to be a promising model for integrating sustainability with finance.
Exactly. It's a model that showcases the evolution of financial instruments, balancing investor expectations with real-world infrastructural needs. And it's pushing the envelope on what green finance can actually mean in diverse economies.
Absolutely. It's been a fascinating dive into the topic. Really underscores how a nuanced approach can reshape our understanding of sustainable development.
Indeed, it does. Thanks for such an engaging discussion. It's always great to unpack these innovative strategies.